Hey everybody, it's Steve here, and welcome back to Super Mario All-Stars. We are playing Super Mario Bros. 1. We're in World 3. We're going to do Worlds 3 and 4 in this episode. We got some snow on the ground, but in like other games where it causes slipperiness, that's not the case here. So you don't have to worry about that. Luigi, of course, will probably be slipping all over the place, but he does that normally. It's one aspect that I don't think I've ever played as Luigi, because he's the second player, obviously. But I know in the Lost Levels you can play as either Mario or Luigi with one player, and his controls are a little bit more touchy. That's something, a quality of his that they carried on through the rest of the series, where they made him jump higher but kind of skid around a lot more. It was harder to get him to stop. He would like skid afterwards, which Mario's doing a little bit of here. You can see like the little dust coming off his feet when he does it. But, so yeah, the snow, don't worry about slipping because it's not a factor. Coin block. I remember where so many of these coin blocks are. Probably not all. I'm not going to presume to know all of them, but there's the one-up trick here, which I'm just going to do this for the points. Yeah, there you go. I got a couple one-ups out of it, but that's obviously, as everybody who knows this game knows, that's the point where you can keep hopping on that Koopa forever and just keep racking up the extra lives. But as we've already determined, extra lives not necessary. What else is going on? Yeah, the snow here reminds me of how much I hate snow. It's summer now. I don't want to be thinking about snow because I hate it so much. Probably one of the, it seems kind of, maybe a little bit silly now, but at the time, one of the scariest moments or nights of my life, and it involved snow. It involved a lot more than that. It was at my last job, and I took the company van to Ohio to pick up a bunch of dogs and puppies that we were going to save. You know, don't get me started on that, but whoa, yeah, got to pay attention when your star power wears out. Should get you to the end of the level. Yeah, we're at the end already. But I'm bad with directions. I admit it. I fully admit it. And I had like some MapQuest directions, but they were useless. They were wrong. Don't ever trust MapQuest fully, because it's not always 100% accurate. And when you're lost, one wrong turn can get you even more lost. But anyway, I got completely lost in Ohio. I got lost earlier than that on the way there, actually, kind of like in Pennsylvania, I think. At which point I called my boss, and the message I got, because he wouldn't get on the phone, but the message I got was, you know, tell him to buy a map. You know, to tell me to buy a map. You know, that's how much he was concerned. But anyway, I got there, I got the dogs. So I've got like all these dogs in the back of this van. It's winter. I forget which month it was, but it was winter. It was snowing. It kept getting darker. I got lost. I'm like in Pennsylvania, like on this stretch of road where there's just nothing. There's nothing anywhere in sight. There's no lights. There's no... I drove for like a half hour on this one road, and there was no sign of life anywhere. Something's beeping outside, like a truck or something. There was like no sign of life anywhere to be found. And I'm watching the gas gauge get lower and lower, and I'm like, this is it, I'm going to run out of gas on this deserted road. There's no other people anywhere around. There's no buildings, nothing. I was literally, you hear the phrase, you know, out in the middle of nowhere. I was out in the middle of nowhere. Alright, we're going to, excuse me. Jeez, what was that? Oh my gosh, I'm going to start coughing now, really? Bowser turns into a Buzzy Beetle this time. And this is one little addition to the game, is how the presentation of Toad. You get the same, you know, 3 Toads for level 3, kind of World 3, that kind of thing. And the way that they're presented, popping out of the bag, is always different. Also, another thing is the time that you have left at the end of the castle gets added to your score. In the original game, that doesn't happen. Doesn't matter how fast, how slow you do that castle. the timer doesn't add on to your score, but in this version of the game it does, which makes my high score for this version of the game always better than the original NES version. It's mostly because of that. Because other than that, you play the game the same way. I play the game the exact same way all the time, so it reaches kind of that point of limited returns. I want my coin. I want it. I'm telling you, one of these times it's going to be my downfall. Oh, see? Come on, I want it. Alright, I mean, I got the firepower, so the spinies are no big deal. Not a concern. Unless they drop on me like that. Can take out Lakitu as well, I guess. Obviously, the first appearance of Lakitu here. As I said before, I know I've mentioned this, I always called him Lakitu when I was a kid. And then as I heard other people refer to him as Lakitu, it just sounded more appropriate. It just sounds better coming out of your mouth than Lakitu. Can I do this? No. Oh, jeez. Fail, fail, fail. No, that's not going to happen. Oh, God. Okay, Steve, just take whatever. Take the 400 and go with it. Because eventually you're wasting more time off of your timer bonus. I've been getting a lot of fireworks. That's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, there's a trick to getting if your score matches the time, the last number, something or other. That's just one of those things that I've never tried to remember. So anyway, I got completely lost in Ohio. Yeah, it took me a while to get back to that story, huh? It's kind of a roundabout way of doing it. There's a coin block up here. One of these. No? This one? There you go. And it was just one of the scariest nights of my life, really, because I was in a different state, middle of nowhere, gas tank running low, no lights, no nothing, and I'm like, I'm gonna be stranded out here. And I remember I finally, and it was just bizarre, I finally see like lights up ahead, and it's this bar, and it's literally in the middle of nowhere, and it was crowded. All these people were there, and I'm like, where did you all come from? Because I've been driving for a half hour. I'm thinking, I didn't actually speak to anybody, of course, except for the bartender. I walked up and she's like, oh, what can I get you? And I'm like, what you can get me are directions out of your shithole town. If I have my way, I will never again. I just said earlier I lost in Ohio. It was Pennsylvania. I was going to Ohio and back, but I got lost in Pennsylvania. If I never go to Pennsylvania ever again in my life, it'll be too soon. I have not since, and I never will go back to that freaking state. It was ridiculous. So I know that from that bar that I called my boss again, and I'm like, I'm done. It's snowing, it's slippery, I'm going to get in an accident, I'm lost. So what should have been, how many hours the trip should have taken, I was driving for like 16 hours. When I finally found my way home, my legs were just like numb. I was like walking up the stairs of my apartment, I couldn't even feel them. I always remember this as being the first big jump in the game, as far as that you've got to hold down the B button to run and to make a running jump. You can get up to this point in the game without ever doing a running jump, but that's the first time where you have to. There's no other way around it. And I always remember that, because as a kid I wasn't aware of doing running jumps, and so I would get to that point and I'd just be like, how are you supposed to make that jump? I finally somehow figured it out, but that always sticks with me. Come on, let's get a good 5,000 here. There we go. So already we are at the Castle of World 4. Geesh, my stories, the way that I go about telling them. And I don't think I ever really get to a point either. I don't think I ever really drive the point home that I was trying to make. What was my point? That Pennsylvania sucks. That, I will never again, make a trip without knowing exactly where I'm going. That's why it's almost worth it. Not that I could have done it in this particular case, but it's almost worth it to fly, even though I've got issues with flying. I'm not too comfortable with it, but I think I just don't pay attention to my surroundings enough to, or to trust my instincts or maps, or maps mean nothing to me. I can look at a map and it means nothing. Even in a video game, sometimes the maps mean nothing. I can stare at them and it's like, okay, that's not really helpful to me at all. There's some maps that actually make sense. Oh, perfect timing as my phone is ringing. Great. It's going to be just a spam call. Anyway, everyone take it easy. Have a good day. Peace. And I'll see you next time for more of Super Mario All-Stars. Bye.